And 3, 2, 1. All right, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
So right now on the podcast, I have two players who both approached me saying they were kind of newer players into the scene in Ultimate. I feel like it's gonna be fun to have a conversation with me, the old man. I started the scene back in Melee in 2003, 2004. And I'm pretty much retired, and I don't even remember ever meeting these guys. Have I met you guys before?
In person, definitely not.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, so only online, right? Like, are you guys on the Facebook page, Central Valley Smash?
Dude, I'm too young for Facebook.
Oh. So Lanturn, I don't know if anyone in the podcast is going to be able to tell the voices here, but Lanturn is only 16. And you main Pokemon trainer, right?
Yep.
How do you feel about that character?
I mean, the character's great. Like, Pokemon has always been a franchise that's held a really special place in my heart. I've been playing it ever since I was about, 5 years old, and I first got Pokemon Diamond on my DS for Christmas. And, it's just kind of always been there with me. It's been a series that's helped me through a lot of tough times. And it's just, like I said, it means a lot to me. So being able to finally play Pokemon Trainer in Smash and have him not suck like he did in Brawl.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, I obviously wasn't old enough to take Brawl seriously, but the character was garbage in that game. But
yeah, I mean, everybody was
really
garbage in comparison
pretty much
to Meta
If
Knight.
you weren't Meta Knight.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really great to play a character that I love so much as a concept and in terms of gameplay, and actually have them be worth the investment.
Dude, honestly, Pokemon Trainer is ridiculously good. I mean, a lot of people put it in S tier, just because you have so many options. I mean, do people still consider Charizard? I mean, Charizard has gotten some buffs, right?
Okay. So I love talking about this.
Yeah, I want to hear your take.
Here's the thing. You know how with every trainer player, you kind of have their specialization, I guess you could say. Normally they have one out of the three mons that they tend to play noticeably better than the others, and that's
right.
Kind of their thing,
Yeah.
For me, that's actually Charizard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's kind of my thing around here is when I'll be playing and somebody who doesn't know who I am will be like, oh, that's the kid who plays a really good Charizard.
Oh, okay.
So I think Charizard's an extremely slept-on character, especially after the buffs. Before the buffs, I already thought Charizard was a solid mid-tier. Now I think he's borderline hype tier. I think he's really good on his own.
Yeah, I could see it, man. I think in general, Heavy's got way better in Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
K. Rool, DDD, Bowser, and Charizard included. Do you consider Charizard a Heavy? Where is he in the weight class?
He is tied for 7th heaviest with, I believe, Incineroar.
Okay, wow, yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah. The way to put it into comparison is basically, Charizard is, or it would be Bowser is to Charizard what Charizard is to Luigi in terms of weight. So Bowser is as heavier as Charizard as Charizard is as Luigi.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I see it.
So he's pretty heavy. He's on the lower end of the super heavies, but definitely still a lot of weight to him. I just think he's a super slept-on character, especially at the beginning of the game. People see a lot more of what he's worth now, but I still think people kind of sleep on him a little bit. Nowadays, the debate is all who's worse, Charizard or Ivysaur.
Right.
But a lot of the trainer players actually say Ivysaur is worse than Zard nowadays.
Do people generally agree that Squirtle's the best? I always thought Ivy was the best, or has that changed?
At the beginning of the game, it was really cut and dry that everyone thought Ivy was the best because she has a very simple but strong game plan. But the problem is Ivysaur is super linear, and there's a lot of weaknesses that people didn't really notice about the character when the game first dropped. Mainly just the fact that she has no ground game and she's really, really slow. Slower than Charizard even. Ivysaur is absurdly slow. But yeah, Squirtle's far and above the best. I think Squirtle is a top 25 character on his own. I think Squirtle's great. Easily a high tier character, super viable. It's mainly just the fact that the best way I could describe it, because this is a point that Miracle's actually brought up to me. Squirtle is he's able to press buttons like Fox at the size of Pikachu.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. It's funny when you say top 25 because, I mean, what are there, 80 characters in Ultimate? And so top 25 sounds pretty good, but coming from a Melee player where there's only 25 characters and only 8 of them are viable, it's top 25 doesn't sound that good, but it's probably pretty good, right? Because Ultimate's so balanced, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot different nowadays. I think the general roster in Ultimate is for the most part viable. Like I would say that high tier is actually the biggest tier in this game. I think high tier is easily like 30 characters on its own.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being true. The thing is, um, because they're still patching, I don't know when they're gonna have the last patch. But because they're still patching, they'll still be adjusting balance. But usually, now this is just coming from being in the fighting game community for a really long time. Usually, even with a diverse roster, and even if it looks generally balanced, once the game is left alone, eventually something top tier, like an S tier character or a few of them, really shine above the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually when games are left alone, but we don't see that yet. And I think that's why the game is balanced. But then there's old games like Capcom versus SNK 2 where there were like 50 or so characters, but still a lot of them were viable. So do you guys think like in the long run, Ultimate will still be viable even when they stop patching, or do you think there will be some kind of S tier character that just starts to shine way above the rest?
As of now, like seeing it from now, I think it's gonna be pretty balanced for a long time. Just with so many characters, so much counterplay available. I don't think there's gonna be anytime soon where there's gonna be like just a few censored characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even as a Smash player, like I'm pretty of the belief that I don't think Smash is the most balanced competitive game.
Mhm.
But I think Ultimate is definitely on the better side of the spectrum. Like you were saying, like there's just a lot of characters. Like, you'd be surprised how many like quote unquote top tier characters have like weird mid tier counterpicks available.
Yeah.
And I think that I think Ultimate also has probably the most balanced set of top tiers. Like there's definitely some horse in there. Like I think Pikachu and Snake are prime examples. Like Pikachu, Snake, and Inkling, I think sometimes can be genuinely unfair.
Yeah, I can
But
see that. I've been hearing a lot about Pikachu being number one and stuff like that from ESAM and all that, but
yeah,
I can see
generally
Snake being
nowadays,
kind of
they're-
like Snake is kind of
Mhm.
pretty dominant for as a zoner. Not a lot of the other
Yeah.
zoners are quite as strong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, because the thing about Snake is he's a zoner, but you can still play him aggressive when you want to. Like
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the best players in the region, Jumps. He's an aggressive Snake player.
Oh yeah.
His Snake is
Um,
scary, honestly, but
Yeah.
yeah, even though people really think that he might be the best character in the game, I really do not think that's the case at this point. He's
I mean,
really good, don't get me wrong, but
I mean, who's to say? Like, the game's way too young. How long has it been?
Yeah.
How long has it been out now? Like a year.
almost a
almost
year.
a year. It'll
Yeah.
be a year for sure by the time Genesis 7 rolls around.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
and I give the game 8 to 10 years before you start seeing like actual tier lists. You know, that's why usually when games are young, if someone makes a tier list, it's usually a trendy tier list, and I never believe it. I look at it and I'm like, okay, there's so many characters in here, they're probably not accurately placed. Maybe even the top and bottom, which people usually get right, they could still be wrong. You know, I mean, in
Yeah.
Melee, we had Axe and Amsa bringing up Yoshi and Pikachu single-handedly. So, in the long run, too, 10 years from now, there will be character specialists who know every matchup that can single-handedly prove that a bottom-tier character, or a character that's considered bottom-tier, could be one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, tier lists early in a game's life are obviously very tentative. Like, if you look at Leffen's first tier list for Ultimate when the game had just dropped, he thought Falco was the best character in the game.
Right,
And,
yeah.
like, Falco's considered about mid-tier by most people.
Yeah.
I want to ask Deiros, since we're on the topic of like balance in matchups. Since you main
Yeah, what's up?
Luigi, Luigi has been known since the very beginning to get the grab combo, which I really appreciate as an Ice Climbers main in Melee. I mean, wobbling is a little bit more lame, but at least Luigi has like a heavy combos off a grab into up B,
Oh, yeah.
which is usually what all the Luigi clips are. Now, I want to ask you, first of all, is there more to the character? Like, what more is there to the character, like, neutral-wise? Like, what do you want to go for besides, the grab combo? Or is that, like, the prime focus of your game plan when you play?
Okay, don't get me wrong. Luigi's grab game it's just insane. I'm gonna admit that as well. Some people might even call it a bit of BS, but honestly, it's really good. But it's not like his main thing.
Uh,
I mean, he can zone a bit as well with his fireballs because they're actually pretty spammable.
Mhm.
Yes, he has the second slowest airspeed in the game, but still his arrows are pretty lagless, so he can basically throw out these free aerial attacks without really getting punished for it.
Yeah, true.
Also, I mean, people typically consider his offstage game to be his worst aspect. Yeah, I think people still forget the fact that I could still reverse you with a misfire, and it's just kind of funny. Yes, it's 1 in 10, but I feel like it happens way more than it's stated to be. But
I feel
just
like he would have
seeing,
big problems with like swords and range and stuff. Like, how do you feel about that?
actually, honestly, now that they remove like the traction he would get in Smash 4, where he would just slide, as I
Mhm.
hear, he would just slide every time he dashed. They got rid of that for Luigi for the most part, so going against like swordies and projectile characters is not as bad in this game. It's still pretty difficult, but it's not really as bad.
Right, and the thing is too that shielding was nerfed in Ultimate. I mean, I
Oh
talk
yeah.
about these things as if they just happened, even though it's been like that since the game came out. But how do you feel about like, shielding, like shield grabbing being worse? Luigi has a what? He has a tether grab now.
Yep.
Like how do you land it? Like what? How do you like in what situation will you actually land the grab? Especially if people know you're going for it.
Typically I would try and get a grab when I see that they're trying to throw out this like big aerial hitbox, or they're going to attack knowing that they're going to whiff.
Mm.
I can sometimes tell when the opponent's going to be like, okay, he's going aggressive, he's trying to get this big punish. I'm just going to run out the way, and while he's in his landing lag, it's just free grab. I mean, you don't just go for grab. You actually grab is more of a whiff punish, and that's why people really don't like the grab, because it's just, oh, you get this 80% combo because I mess up one move.
Mm.
Well, okay, I can understand why that could be a bit frustrating, but honestly, is grab in its 14 frames, its tether, it's already considered not to be like a great grab in itself. I think people get it twisted between grab and grab throw combo.
Mm.
I don't think they're the same. Like for example, you have people who like have regular grabs like less than 10 frames for startup, and mine is 14 frames. So I don't know why people consider mine to be the best grab in the game. It's more so the best grab combo.
Right. No, that's
But
what I think that's what they
yeah,
mean though. But when they say best grab in the game, it's because you get the most reward out of it
oh
compared
yeah,
to other
but
characters.
oh yeah, but you get where I'm trying to go with it, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, no, don't worry. Like, I know if you guys talk about the game, I'm gonna know everything you talk about. I've been playing Smash for so many years, and I mained Ice Climbers, so I know the whole life of people
Okay.
camping platforms for 10 minutes. Like that's just how life is gonna be if you play a
Yeah.
character like that.
Mhm.
Going back to your first question, I really don't think that Luigi's like entire plan is just get one grab and profit.
Hmm.
I really think it's more so just throwing out these fireballs and conditioning your opponent to do some type of action that I want them to do so I can get an optimal punish, maybe even a grab.
Mm-hmm. Right, right, right,
That's
right.
more of so. I don't call it like aggression, nor do I call it just trying to zone. I call it what I deem is um how do I say this? A strat how do I say this? I call it aggressive zoning, where I will throw all these fireballs, but I'm not just gonna stay in one corner. I'll always just try to move around and like do always, play all these footsies and throw all these fireballs so that I can condition you to do some type of way, and then I'll punish you for it.
I would love to
That's
see
it.
this in action. Like, even though I'm talking to you guys because you guys are new, but like I would love to like sit down and play with you guys. That would be so fun. You get to see the old man tactics.
I mean, that'd be
Yeah, that
great.
would be pretty fun,
I'd be down to
honestly.
Dude,
anytime.
we should do like a
Yeah.
follow up session someday. You guys are both from Modesto?
Um, Technically,
Yes.
I am not. I actually live in Riverbank.
Oh,
I
Riverbank.
actually
Okay.
live in Turlock, but
Oh,
Minnesota's like
okay.
their center place.
Right, right. That makes sense.
Yeah, because that's pretty much the only place that consistently holds tournaments, at least close to both of us.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Do you go to the wait, Lantern? You live in Turlock?
No, I live in Riverbank.
Oh, you're Riverbank. So Deiros, you're Turlock.
Yes.
Okay. So do you go to the Stan tournaments?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
I've wanted to, but sadly I haven't gotten the opportunity because school's been getting in the way.
Dude, honestly, I see every announcement. I want to go to every single one, but I can't. Like, I got work. I got married life. It's just
Yeah.
rough. I think I might go to there's an MJC event on Friday, right?
Next week, I
yeah,
believe
should be.
so.
Yeah, the 7th.
Yeah.
I think the 6th.
6th or 7th. Yuri
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
really
something
hasn't
like that.
I think
confirmed the date yet.
yeah, Scravy invited me to sell art. I don't even know if I could do that legally on MJC, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty lenient with it because school campuses typically will not let you like vend. But I think usually if it's kind of a casual event, the people will be lenient. If I get caught and they stop me, then I'll just put my stuff away. But
I think you'll be fine.
yeah, are you guys going to that?
I do go to. I mean, I plan
I'm gonna
to.
try.
Yeah, I plan to go there as well. So
I might meet you guys there then, because I'm pretty sure
yeah.
I'm gonna go on Friday. So if we meet, we could have some sessions and run some sets. And I would love to record it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been on kind of an extended break from Smash for like the past couple months, at least in terms of like trying super hard. Because I play a lot of other fighting games. So I've been more so focusing on those and having Smash on the back burner. But I plan to come back and go hard soon. So maybe next week will be that time.
Which ones do you play?
Right now the main focus has been Unist and Dragon Ball Fighters.
Right, those seem to be the popular ones, especially like linked to the Smash community, because a lot of people who like take breaks from Smash or quit Smash will go to those.
Mm-hmm.
I play Fighters.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
awesome.
Who do you play? I play Fat Boo 16 and 18.
Okay, recently, I've switched around my team a lot as the time has gone on, but one thing that's always remained is I'm a base Goku player at heart, dude. I love that character.
Dude, that's sick.
Recently, I've been playing kind of a struggle bus team that has like weirdly good synergy. Beerus, Zamasu, and base Goku.
That sounds hype. That like Beerus is hype in general.
Yeah, Beerus is super sick. Like he's not very good per se, but he's really cool, and I've always wanted to play him. It's just I always held myself back from it because I was like, oh, he's not good enough. He'll lose me games. But like honestly, he's too fun for me to care.
Yeah.
Like, Beerus is super cool.
Like my spirit animal is Fat Boo. Like I don't really enjoy any other character that much.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Fat Boo's gross, dude. The restand combos and shit.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I love that. Anyway, I do want to ask both of you a general question of both of you. Now, this is coming from my own history of like there was a time in Melee where I wanted to be the best for a long time, and then I think 2014 through 2016, I had sponsors. I was running tournaments. Eventually, I got Greg to run all the tournaments for me, and I could focus on playing. I was able to beat a bunch of top players, and I was going to like multiple tournaments a week, and I lived that life, and then I retired. Now, for you guys, I don't know how high your aspirations are, so I'm wondering, like, when you get into a game, especially fighting games nowadays are a lot better at kind of easing you into getting good. Back then, it's kind of like dog eat dog, get destroyed or destroy. Like that you and in any game, especially fighting games, if you go into a scene where the players are already good, like you're just gonna get absolutely wrecked. But nowadays, since the tournament scene is well established, online play is very common. And it's a lot easier to find players around your skill level, especially with stuff like matchmaking, and not just with Smash, but in most fighting games have like a ranked matchmaking system, and if they don't, people will make artificial ones like Anther's Ladder.
Yeah.
So that said, like what was it like getting into the scene, and then how high are you shooting? How far do you guys want to go?
You want me to answer this, or do you want to answer first?
You can go ahead.
Okay, I guess I'll start. So, entering into the scene, I was actually, I'll be honest, it might not show, but I was actually kind of anxious to get into the scene because it's a game that I never really touched. And I was like, okay, I knew the bit of turns because I was always hung out with people who played Smash in high school, so I kind of understood the terminology as the years went by, and I feel like I was gonna get bodied a bit, but then I really started to really dive into the game, and I started to actually, understand, oh, his combos are like this. Oh, his follow-ups are like this, and the game works like that. And I just started getting deeper and deeper into the game. And now, I feel at this point, my aspirations for the game would honestly just get better because there's a lot of things that I really want to prove, and
well, what do you want to prove?
Like the biggest thing in mind is a bit of like a tiny backstory, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. So going through high school, like I said, I knew a bunch of people who played Smash 4 and whatnot, because the 4 years of high school is basically 2014 to 2018, so they all played Smash 4 and whatnot. Every single morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., a classroom would open, and they would have this like little casual Smash time, 8-player Smash. I just remember them always go to Great Cave events. I'm like, this is fun, and it was Smash Ball and whatnot, and maybe even a Pokemon every now and then, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? I played for like 20 minutes just to see how it is. I think I played Mario the entire time. Like I just played for casual. I was just like remember camping in the bottom right corner of Greyfield Vent because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then they set up this little bracket. Like, I think sophomore year of my high school life.
Ah,
And
nice. First bracket's always memorable.
no, they had this little small bracket like I think 12, 14 people.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a try. So I played I think three characters during the bracket. I played Mario. I played I believe it was Bowser. And then like in the second to last match of my tournament run, I played a bit of Luigi because I'm basically a Mario fan all my life. I love Mario. I grew up with Mario. Especially in the GameCube era. I literally grew up with them in the GB era. I grew up with them my entire life. So I'm like, you know, what, I'm gonna play them. And yeah, I remember getting bodied the entire time. But you know what? I had fun. Then there was this one guy who I'm gonna try and keep his name disclosed. He lives in my area, but I'm keeping it disclosed. He was let's just say he was a bit of a bad apple.
You can use harsh words.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want, man. If he was a jerk, he was a jerk. If he was toxic, he was toxic.
Oh no, he's toxic. He was a bit toxic.
Yeah.
He was a bit toxic. So how do I say this? So he is a Yoshi main, and
We're slowly gonna just reveal information.
he, that's all I'm gonna say. He's a Yoshi main.
Okay.
And,
Toxic Yoshi mean.
yes, and we played this small bracket, like one set. He washed me. I'm like, okay. I never touched the game, so I'm like, okay. I had fun, and then I remember him just because he knew me beforehand.
Uh-huh.
Before this, he already knew me. So then he just looks at me, and he's like, "Dog, you are so f word trash."
Dude.
And then I'm like, okay,
Why
I'm
would you
playing
say
this
that,
game.
dude?
And no, like he told that to me,
Uh-huh.
and as the years went by, I'm like, okay, somehow that thing stuck with me. And then every time I see him, and like I see him and his group of friends play Smash, I was like, hey, can I get like one or two games in, like have a little fun? He's like, no, man, you're trash. I don't want to play with you. And then as the years went by, I knew some more friends who legit would just keep telling me, dude, this guy keeps calling you out, why not? Because Smash at my high school was actually pretty decently sized.
Mm-hmm. Where'd
So
you go?
I went to Pittman High School.
Pittman. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, and I was like, okay, this trash talk is starting to get a bit annoying. So, and I wasn't able to afford a Wii U, so what am I supposed to do?
Right.
So then, when I saw, fast forward to March, Ultimate was revealed, I'm like, I'm getting this game. I am getting this game. So I actually kind of have to thank him as well because he was actually the one that actually got me to be motivated to get the game. And then I just started grinding the game out as the game was released.
That's
And
super
then,
interesting that it was a toxic player
oh
that
yeah.
told you were trash and you're like, nah, dude.
And then I played the game for a bit of time. I played Ultimate for a bit. I'm like, you know what? I'm having fun. I'm trying to get good at this. I'm trying to get decent at this game. But I wasn't really trying to get like hardcore into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one of the tournaments I went to, it was the first, I think, Stanislaus tournament. Um, he was there, and then he stood behind me when I was playing my set, and he saw I was able to get these decent follow-ups. And he's like, and then I look at him, and he tells me, "Oh, all right, I see, I see." And then he walks away. And then later that evening, at night when I'm at my house, I get a Snapchat text from one of my friends from high school, who apparently invited this guy to his house to play Smash.
Uh-huh.
And he kept calling me so freaking trash. When he went like 2 minutes to just call me straight freaking trash.
Wow. Still, huh? After all this
Yeah.
time.
And then I thought for a moment. I'm like, okay, I've had enough. I'm gonna get good at this game and whoop his ass one day.
Yes, that's a good goal. I like that. It's personal vendetta.
And then we're here today, still trying to get good.
Okay. You haven't beaten him yet.
I never got the chance to. Every time, like for the past few months, I've been asking every time I see him, "Hey, let's play a few games. I got money on life. You want to?" Like he's been trying to dodge money.
Ooh, the dodge!
He's been dodging for months now.
Ooh, dodging. You gotta call him out publicly, man. On the Discord, whatever. Just be like, yo, let's get a set in.
If I see him at a tournament, I would just be like, "Dog, we're money matching," And if he says no, and if he says no, I swear I'm just gonna be like, hey man, $20 right now, money match me.
See, here's the thing. See,
And,
I don't know this guy, but like, he set himself up for a lose-lose situation. Like, pretty much when you call someone trash, like, who does it help? It doesn't help your case, you know.
No.
See, even if you money match him, even if you lose, you're still the man because you challenged the guy who called you trash. You know, it's like it's a lose-lose situation for him. But I think he should accept, especially because people are going to be listening to this and be like, "Yo, you should play."
I'm still pretty sure he's gonna dodge it. Doesn't get set back in sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
All right, and that's the enemy. Lanturn, if you want to take it away from here.
Sure. So when it comes to aspirations for Smash, I'm in kind of a weird place because I play other games and I want to get good at those games too. But deep down, I know that those games are only a distraction for me. Not getting a bad mentality from playing too much Smash. Because I care about Smash a lot, even though like I'll joke around with my friends and I'll talk down on the game because I think as a competitive game it does have problems. I'll be like, oh, this game sucks, it's ass, nothing works. Deep down, I really do want to, you know, I want to get good and I want to realize the potential that I know I have.
Right.
Because it's like I'm a very competitive person, very competitive.
I like that.
And it's kind of weird because this is gonna make me sound fucking awful, but I have kind of the opposite motivation as Deiros. Whereas he wants to get good because somebody called him trash, I want to get good because I like calling people trash.
Oh. All right.
I like to shit talk a lot.
Okay, I feel it.
Here's the thing. I may or may not have a small I may or may not have a small reputation in the community for being a little bit toxic. So you know, I have a lot of fun with that. And it's obviously easier to be toxic if you're good at the game. So then if somebody wants to talk back,
so you want to get good for the rights, because once you're at that point, you can say whatever you want, like Floyd Mayweather. You know, like he say whatever he wants because he's never lost.
I mean, because the thing is, like, how do I say it? Fuck it. I was gonna say like, how do I say this without sounding arrogant? But I don't care. I'm an arrogant person. I'm pretty I'm good at the game. I know I am.
Okay.
But I'm not as good as I want to be because there's still people in the region that I can't consistently beat. Like, like I can have close sets with like miracles and jumps, and we can go back and forth. But that's not enough for me. I want to be able to consistently beat them.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, even though that is your motivation, I'm sure you still give respect where it's due, right? Like, well, yeah, if someone's better, you know, they're better.
If I just get bodied, then like I get bodied. Like literally, I went to UC Merced last week for button check because they have Smash there and other fighting games. I just kind of entered Smash for fun because I was like super rusty and I hadn't played literally all that month. Then I ended up playing the best player at Merced, Manny, the Peach player. And like game 1 went okay. Game 2 I got washed, so I got 2-0, and I was like, dude, you're fucking good.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna be an idiot and deny my losses. Like if I lose, I lose.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, I talk trash for fun because I think it's fun, and I think
it is.
People getting pissed off at it is funny. Like if we're being honest,
it really is. You know, one thing that I do, I don't like destroying people per se. I mean, it's a good feeling, but I've been playing fighting games for so long that for me, if I know I'm better than someone, destroying them is no fun, and I don't learn anything. Well, actually, what I like to do is troll. Like, I like to style, I like to taunt, I like to teabag. And the thing is, I really like when people get mad because it's like I'm showing them that they need to grow. Because if someone does that to me, I'm not affected at all, right? So I want to show them that I am mentally above anything that happens in the game. So that's what I like to do personally. And a lot of people, it shows too, because there's some players like I would say I'm a nice guy. And I try to make friends with everyone, but there's some players who hate me only because of the way I play. They're like,
yeah. See, I'm not like that. I'm at least in terms of the community. Like when I'm Lanturn, I guess I'm not a nice guy. I can give you multiple people off the top of my head who don't like me in this scene, and I know it. But I'm okay with that because as weird as it sounds, I like not being liked.
Hmm.
I find it really entertaining, and honestly,
Oh,
it gives me motivation to play against people who don't like me. Um,
I guess that's fair.
and my one problem is that sometimes I can get in my own head too much and get what's it called? Basically, I'm a tilter. Like I'm a big time tilter. Um,
Interesting.
because I have this problem where I'll be able to play well against like some of the quote unquote better players around here, and then I'll lose to somebody that I'm not gonna say it shouldn't lose to because that's never what it is. There's never a situation where you shouldn't have lost to someone. There's just situations where you're more likely to win.
Mhm.
But I'll lose in a situation where I at the very least don't feel like I should have, and I'll get tilted. And then I'll lose even harder as the set goes on. That's my problem.
I see.
That's something I need to
Yeah.
fix.
Yeah.
Um, but at the end of the day, like I play because I like making jokes and I like pissing people off that take the game way too seriously. Because at the end of the day, it's still a video game to me. Like I take it seriously and I want to be good at it and I want to take it seriously. But at the end of the day, I still know what it is, which is a video game.
Right.
Yeah.
So when people get super butthurt and they act like it's a matter of pride, I find that hilarious to me. Like Choke, how often are you on Twitter?
All the time.
Okay. Did you see some of the beef that went down with me in the scene in Stockton?
No, my Twitter
I
feed
think I
is
saw
mostly
for a bit.
art, so actually, like, I don't see a
I
lot of the
see.
Smash drama.
I think I've seen it a bit.
Yeah, basically it all started with our dog making some tweet about something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how many of the Stockton players you actually know.
I don't know who our dog is. I met Akaton. He's really nice.
Yeah, our dog is like one of the quote unquote best players in Stockton.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
He plays Snake.
Okay.
But he basically made a tweet talking about something, I don't remember what, and like I made a joke that I guess to some people wasn't very obvious was a joke, and then their whole scene just kind of jumped me because they were super butthurt, I guess.
Mhm.
It was extremely entertaining. Because I like making people mad. I'm sorry, it's what I do. So they literally like 4 people from their scene jump me, start talking about, how can you disrespect our scene like this? What have you accomplished in this game? You're trash. You're nobody. You're irrelevant. And they thought that
Right.
was hilarious because fucking people go around and they act like playing Smash Brothers is an accomplishment in your life.
Right.
like I'm sorry, kid, but it's a video game. Like, relax.
Okay, I can
Um,
see that, but at the same time, I think people, if they put time into something, if they become emotionally invested into something, it's going to be worth more to them than it would to other people. And I think that's why people get emotionally react, stuff like that, because what you're saying is true. Really, it is just a game.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people inject like life meaning into how good they are at this game, right? Like, what's interesting is that even though a lot of our initial motivations are about ego, like Deiros wanting to prove someone wrong, or you just wanting to, be better than other people and call them trash or whatever. These things are about ego, and there are some people who are like, this game is my measure of worth because it's all I have. Like, I think you scoff, but at the same time, I kind of feel for them because there was a point in me, especially early on, where I was like, I'm good at this, and I want to show people I'm good at this. Like, I don't care now, right? But there was a time,
Well, yeah.
Or-
I mean,
yeah.
it happened to me too when I first entered the scene. Like, I was equating my worth as a person to how I was performing in game, and
Yeah.
at
Same
least
here.
in my world, I guess, I realized that wasn't good for me, and I took a step back and tried to fix it. Like, I don't think that's something you should just sit in.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say I'm wrong. Like, you can have your own opinion on it, but like that's just what I believe, and I'm gonna stick to that. Which is why I kind of like to poke fun at those people because there's been situations where it has actually made those people realize, oh, I need to stop bugging over this game.
Right.
It's fine to be emotionally invested. I am emotionally invested in the game. It's just that
Yeah.
I know when to take a step back when I'm being too much.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Like I came to that same realization too when I was as like I think January, February, I really wanted to get into this game. Like I wanted to be just like the best Luigi in the region, which I don't know if I've earned that title yet, but at the same time, like okay, you have other stuff in your life. You have a job, you have college. You're putting a little too much time into this game. Why don't you take a step back for a second? And I have, and I still go to tournaments and whatnot, but I I've been playing a bit less than what I initially did. Like if you check my Switch,
Excuse me.
guess how many hours I have on my Switch alone for Smash?
I don't know. You tell me.
And this is not including tournaments or playing other people's Switches. On my Switch alone, I have like over 1,400 to 500 hours.
That's nutty, dude.
Yeah, that is like double what I have.
I probably have that much time in League of Legends, honestly, but
Yeah. But then at the same time, that was like before like September when like, okay, I want to keep going tournaments, but I need to dial that. Need to dial that. I need to dial it back a bit because I have like college work. I have all this stuff, like family coming soon. I need to step back a bit, and I play less. I still play, but I play less now, and I think it's been helping me out a lot because I realized, okay, I need to take a bit of a reality check.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, I focused a lot more on just having fun with the game lately, as opposed
Yeah.
to like, you know, being super hard grinder. I gotta be the best. Like, even though like deep down, yeah, I want to be the best. I'm gonna achieve that my way.
Yes.
So, like, that's also why I have the attitude I do within the scene because it's all just for fun to me. Like, I'm not taking any of it seriously.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting to hear because I meet a lot of players and everybody has different levels of motivation and levels of emotional investment. And what's interesting to me, and this is kind of what I'm looking for, and ever since Smash 4 came out and I met a lot of people coming into like the battleground scene. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yeah,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So that was a really good time for Smash in the 209, where we were they had 2 tournaments a week, and they had pot bonuses every time, which is really sweet of them. It's very unfortunate that they went out of business due to some, like their CEO was like a criminal or something like a bank robber or something like that, something crazy.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I mean that's offhand. I don't want to be slandering anyone, but as far as I know, that's what I heard, right?
Yeah, that's the lore.
Yeah, that's the lore. Anyway, what I've been searching for is and this has happened in Melee with Spark. Like he's top 50 in the world now. And ever since Smash 4 and Ultimate, that type of player has not come out, and that type of player is what I call the scientist. True students of the game, where sure, at the very beginning, once you start getting deep into the game and learning matchups and learning mechanics and stuff like that, those are combined with sort of the emotional investments that we have in the game, the motivations, which are fine, and we need those to make it a goal to win. But once that goal is there, all that stuff is just outside of the game, and you guys know that. Like,
Yeah.
to actually study the game is an endless. I mean, you guys were talking about like skill ceiling and like depth, like going deeper and deeper. I like that way of putting it because it's an endless ocean, especially in a game with like 80 matchups, right? Not only you have to learn all of them and master all of them, but if you want to actually win a major, for example, you have to know not only how to beat Game & Watch, but how to beat Meister, the best Game & Watch in the world, right? You got to be prepared for something like that. And a true scientist, obviously, it's baby steps, right? Getting the best in your region is already an endeavor as it is. But once that becomes trivial, which for some people it is, like I don't know if Infamous is still winning every tournament, but
He is.
right. So there are some opponents for him he doesn't even think about, right? Because he's already prepared. So for someone in this region to excel beyond that, you have to start traveling out to people where people are better. And I guess what I've been searching for, and I know you guys are new, and you know, winning in your own region is a difficult endeavor as it is already. The thing is, the reason I'm talking about this is because, like, in games nowadays, like, it's all about dopamine, right? Reward systems are in place where I'm gonna win. But if I lose too much, I might quit. If I win too much, I might quit. If you lose and win the right amount, and you keep improving at the right amount, you're gonna keep wanting to get better.
Oh yeah.
And like, if it's easy, like people like to take the path of least resistance. So if it's easy to win, like in your region, and then you start going out to regionals and stuff, eventually people hit a wall where they're like, okay, I really have to put in more time than I was before. And and start studying and start doing match analysis and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm just kind of telling the story about like. I guess the reason I'm searching is because I never got to do it. I had to quit at some point. And I think I kind of like want to live vicariously through someone, and that's why I've always been wanting like a player that had that aspiration, because I want to coach. I want to be a coach. You know, I've already done coaching, paid coaching through Fiverr, and I've been like looking for somebody who has that just completely serious, you know, make the game their life. Because the reason I quit is it was Evo 2016. I looked at Hungrybox and I looked at Armada, and I was like, yo, these guys, the game is their life. And in order for me to actually have a chance against them, I actually have to be putting in more hours than they do. And they're already sponsored and they already have all these advantages, but they did work to get there. And I'm like, you know what? I want to have an art career, so I should probably focus on that. So
Let's go.
yeah. So at that point, because I did have the aspiration to be the best, and eventually I just let it go because I knew I wanted to do something else. I wanted to be the best at something else. But in my heart, I spent so many years trying to get to Hungrybox's place, but I never did it because I chose to not do it, and yet that fire is still there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because like that's like a prime example of how different things work for different people. Because for me, I had a period where, you know, I had that fire that you're talking about. I was like, I'm gonna grind. That's gonna be what I do. This game's gonna be my life. And
Right.
oddly enough, in terms of results and actual competitive success, that was my lowest point. Was when I was working, was when I was quote unquote working super hard. Now I've taken on the mentality a lot more about working smart as opposed to working hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like really, a lot of my improvement doesn't actually come from playing the game that much. It comes from what I refer to as osmosis, where I'll watch something or read something or look at something, and I'll say, "Oh, that's a thing I can do," and then I'll just put it into my gameplay.
Right. That actually makes a lot of sense because I learn a lot about AI nowadays, neural networks and intuition. And there's a difference between brute force calculation, like algorithmic computer thinking, and neural network thinking, which is more what you could call intuition. And you know, children pick up intuition, like especially 2 to 4-year-olds will have really high levels of intuition. That's why you see kids like who are prodigies who are 4 years old, because that's all they did for like a couple of years, and their parents like hey like kept feeding them information on it and making them practice and stuff. But it's because their brains are so elastic that they're able to learn. And obviously now, since we're adults or young adults, it's a little bit less so. But what you're talking about, the osmosis thing, is very well like documented in psychology, that you don't really have to actually be doing something for a long time to absorb what you need to absorb, because those processes happen without thinking about it, unconsciously.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's what, you know, one of the best players in the region, Miracles, has been doing. Pretty much almost like since a couple of months after Ultimate dropped, because like, you know, him and I are great friends and we play a lot. So like he really doesn't practice the game like at all. He prefers to play like anime fighters, but I've seen him consistently get better over time just by, you know, learning. Like not really doing, but just learning.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though. I think there are people there. A lot of people are become cognizant of that over time, and they start to learn that, hey, maybe some people get better after they take breaks, right? Like weeks long breaks or months long breaks, and they come back and fresh at the game. If I came back into Melee now, I would probably have maybe slightly less, but a similar level of success to what I had before, because it's not like I lost it. You know, once these things are ingrained in your head, they stay there forever. And it only takes maybe less than a day of like playing some games to realize, all those brain processes are going to come back. But there, even with that, the people who are the best are still going to be the ones who recognize that, but also still work harder and smarter than other people.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely about finding a balance, and I think that's something I should work on, because I did kind of go from one end of the spectrum to the other.
Yeah.
I should probably try and find that happy medium eventually.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm confident that's something that's gonna come with time, as opposed to me searching for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Fuck, I'm in the same boat as well sometimes, honestly. Like in due time, it's In due time, it's just gonna keep going. But right now, I'm chilling.
I would love to play with you guys. I just want to sit down and see your mind. Sometimes when you fight someone, you can kind of feel who they are more than talking to them. Have you guys experienced that?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. It's weird on this. It's a super weird feeling, but at the same time, it's like an incredible feeling as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because I'll sit down with people and we'll play a couple sets or something, and they'll come off and they'll say, "This is gonna sound weird, but I can see your arrogance in the way you play."
Yes. Have people told you that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because like me personally, like I play for the style above everything because
Right.
I think that's what makes the game fun to me. So I'll go for
That's
because like since I'm playing trainer, I'll go for like ridiculous, crazy switch combos or like stupid hard reads that don't make any sense in theory, but
They just work.
like yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, what is your least favorite type of player to play against?
Mashers. Like
Ooh.
it sounds weird to call that like a player type, but in my opinion, Smash it kind of is because like this is one of my biggest criticisms of Ultimate as a game. I think it rewards mashing too much.
Mm-hmm.
And like some people know that and
Yeah.
they use it to their advantage, and I hate it. Like it infuriates me. That is my number one cause of tilt. Is pretty much every time I've gotten tilted and lost a set because of it, it's because I was playing a mash.
Right.
And
So when you say masher, is it someone who's like spamming aerials, or someone who would randomly jab at a certain situation when no one else would, or what do you
the
what
way
kind
I-
of
the
what
way
kind of
I-
habit is it?
Yeah, the way I describe it is like always hitting buttons in disadvantage.
Ah, I see.
Um, yeah, like for example, like I was.
That's me,
playing-
dude.
I mean, hey, honestly, like I said, it's a strategy that works and the game allows it. So like at the end of the day, it's just my job to learn how to not get tilted by it.
Right.
But yeah, like a prime example would be like I don't know, say like it would be like a Joker, like always landing with down air after you put them in disadvantage state, or like
Mhm.
always landing with some kind of aggressive option as you approach them to try to push your advantage, and you get hit for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like obviously it's my job to know that's coming. I'm just like I just need to be better at adapting to that kind of gameplay style because I don't play with a lot of people who play like that.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's like that happens to me. It happens to me a lot in Street Fighter because Street Fighter is a really like in comparison to all the other fighting games now, it's the simplest and kind of dumbest one, for lack of a better word. And there are some strategies where it's like that's really silly, but I'm not prepared. like
And it
I
just
know
works.
exactly what's coming, but I haven't practiced punishing it.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm a K Rool main, actually. Well, I want to main Falcon in Ultimate, who I think is a little bit better. They both kind of suck, but I think K Rool is way slept on, especially he recently got buffed.
Oh, no,
Really?
he's slept on, honestly.
Yeah.
Just that no one's been putting the time in him yet.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
interesting.
I did. And I Striker thinks I'm the best K Rool he's played.
Really?
But that was a while ago. Yeah. It's funny because I know there's what's his name? Parker. What's his Ranch Raccoon, right? And he has a
Yeah.
decent K Rool. But I could tell, he always switches characters. He's not a K Rool main.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he tried to K Rool Ditto me because I held a tournament at my house. This was a while back, my bachelor party in May. And he tried to K Rool Ditto me, and he actually got a game, but I beat him in the end. And I was like, oh, his level of depth of knowledge on the K Rool is not as deep as mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I got one game off of Striker finally in that
Let's go.
tournament at my house.
Hey.
But he was playing Toon Link and not Bowser.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That.
it's
But
actually-
I love
it's
Striker
funny you bring
because.
up Parker.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's funny that you bring up Parker, because he's actually like a much better example of like the player that I was talking about, like as a person.
Oh.
And like he knows it and he'll tell you, because like he knows when he can do a stupid challenge and it's gonna work.
Oh,
because
yeah.
You're,
Oh,
because you're
yeah.
not ready for it.
Yes.
Like he's the perfect example of a masher who's also just a good player.
Yeah. What's funny is that I think he got third place at his first tournament. Like, there's some players who just kind of have a feel for the game.
Yeah.
Striker was one of those, and I made that in. I talked about
Yeah,
that in
I
my
saw
the
it.
truth about Striker video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how he went through his bracket and it's like he went through the bracket in his first attempt. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, he got to grands. He beat me in his first tournament. I was like, dude, who is this guy?
just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to bounce off of what Lantern said before with like how he plays for style, right? Is that what he said? He played for style?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can agree or disagree on me with this one, Lantern, but I feel as if like how I play is more so like I just want to like I'm a conditioning type of player. I always want to see, okay, what type of thing you're gonna throw out, what's your ultimate strategy, so I can just cut it off and just hit you with this big ass combo.
Mm.
Like
I like that.
that's like yeah, I do because I don't. I mean, here's the thing. Before I would always try and go unga bunga, just trying to get in and just hit everything and try to be cool. But then at the same time, I looked at and I lost a lot of games because I tried to go unga bunga. And then I tried to play very passive, and I was still getting similar effect because at this point snakes were on the rise, Samuses, a bunch of like characters that have a bunch of projectiles are on the rise, and with my character that was not working out either. So I had to find that medium where I'm now a conditioning type of player, and it's been working out for me a lot. And I'm surprised because honestly, I feel like I can be pretty exploitable sometimes, but at the same time, I understand what to do in order to exploit the other player, and it's just that's just how I play. I like to just condition people with fireballs and Zair, and understand what's their move. It's like playing chess, where
Yeah,
you
I
always
could see that.
where
Yeah.
you want to anticipate what they're gonna do. You already have a counterplay for it.
What's interesting
Yeah,
to me is that we all seem to have different motivations as for what is the most satisfying to do in the game. Now I'm going to make some
Yeah.
generalizations, right? So Lantern, according to you, you would like to make sure that you win in a stylish way, and then after that you could tell your opponent that they suck or something. And Deiros, you're what's satisfying to you is that after you've conditioned someone, they do exactly what you want to do, and you punish them really hard. And
yeah.
for me, I would want to dominate an opponent to the point where I could eventually start trolling them because I know I'm winning neutral every time, right? So we all have different ways that we want to play, and I like taking back to Melee because that game's been out for like more than 15 years, and
Yeah.
at the top level, it's really interesting because people's that even with a game as deeply researched as that one, the game doesn't become stale because if there's enough freedom in the game, you start to see at top level that people still play the way they want to play. With players like Mango and Nun, they still top players even though they're playing the way they want to. Now, not a lot of games will allow you to do that, especially if they favor defense. Chess is an example where it starts to get stale at top level because most top players can force a draw. Brawl got pretty stale because you can ledge camp, you can platform camp pretty much forever with Meta Knight. Because those games favor defense. And what I like about fighting game developers nowadays is almost in every case, they're building games that favor offense. And Ultimate is one of them. It's not quite as strong as Melee, of course, but they nerfed shielding, they nerfed shield grabbing, and they made there's more damage to shields. You can't light shield anymore. Like there's a lot of stuff that will favor offense. This is arguable, but I still think it's the case.
I think I get it.
Yeah.
At the very least, I think that's definitely what they were going for.
Yeah, but even then, even games that favor offense can still get stale. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that games that favor freedom, I think that's a better word for it. Games that favor freedom will allow players to really make sure that even at the highest level, you can express yourself, and I think that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really true. Like, I do think that compared to like the previous Smash games of recent years, like Smash 4 Brawl, like I think Ultimate does definitely favor a lot more expression. Like, even just a simple interaction of like, oh, I'm sitting on a platform as Ivysaur, and my opponent is below me pressuring. What can I do? I could either make the more boring option but safe of trying to escape the platform, or I could go for my favorite option of the aggressive down air while on the platform into a combo in the drop through up air that kills them for it.
Yeah.
You know?
And either way would have been fine.
Yeah, but I get to do what I want to do, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
You know what's satisfying for me? So when I'm on the ledge and I see like my opponent like at a nice distance where he can cover a lot of options, most people would just like try to roll or try to get up as quickly as possible because they think that's the best option. But if you see me play, I will legit stay on the ledge. I will stay hanging on the ledge for like a few seconds just to see what the hell is this guy doing.
Mm.
And then I
Yeah.
just, yeah, that's what I do. I will be patient. I mean, I'm not gonna camp or anything, but I will be a patient player because I know going unga bunga is not gonna work.
Yeah, I actually do that too. Like anytime I'm recovering and I grab the ledge, I always take a couple seconds to look at the ledge trap.
Yeah.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's one of the elements of Ultimate that I'm still not quite used to, because in Melee you could just re-grab ledge.
Yeah.
And that would take me some time to get used to. I want to ask, who are your favorite players to watch?
Like, like generalized, like just in the region or just like
No,
pro in general?
anyone.
Okay. Okay, like I'm gonna be honest, people already know by now. I like to watch Elgin a lot because he's just so freaking hyped to watch.
Oh,
Honestly, with this all this insane combos that I feel like don't even work, but at the same time they work
is
because
he still the best, Luigi?
he's still the best Luigi in the world.
Oh yeah, far and above.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but then funny enough, I actually came to the realization that he always says that he will never lose a Luigi Ditto because that's like his favorite matchup. But then I analyzed it and I say, I don't think that's the case. You're just people see you as the golden standard of Luigi, and people try to mimic you. People want to be like the Elegant 2.0, like the next guy, and that's never gonna happen because Elegant knows his playstyle
Hey, by the way, sorry to
more than
interrupt,
anyone else.
but you just said
Yeah.
mimic you.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, got him. No, just kidding. Go on. Go ahead.
Fair enough. Anyway, so people always try to like copy his playstyle, but he knows his playstyle better than anyone else will. So, and what's funny is that I would see him in a Luigi Ditto, and when someone else plays a Luigi that's different than what he's used to, he honestly crumbles a bit because he's always expecting him to play Luigi as he wants him to play.
Right.
I mean, he's still fun to watch, but at the same time, I see some flaws, and I'm starting to move from okay, I need to be Elgin 2.0. No, I just want to be my own Luigi playstyle type of person.
That's good because I mean Bruce Lee always said when you're learning from other people, he says I guess adopt what's useful, take what's useful, and discard what's useless.
Yes.
So yeah, and that's always going to be like a thing, especially when someone's the best of their character. Obviously they're doing a lot of things right, so you do want to take a lot of things that they're doing right, and it's perfectly okay to steal someone's tactics. But I mean, they're not the only Luigi player, for example, but there could be others who are doing something right and you want to take from them. I recently coached a Sonic player, and I was watching like who I thought was popular because I didn't know, I wasn't familiar. I watched Kells, and then I watched Ken, and Ken is, I think, agreed upon to be the best. But then he told me about quite a few others that I should watch, and then I got pretty much a feel for how Sonic should be played based on several top players. And and then I feel like if I were to pick up Sonic, I would work on those general principles. Yeah.
Okay. Elder, who do you like to see a lot?
Me?
Okay.
Oh, Lanturn?
Lantern.
Yeah.
I think if I was to purely restrict it to my own character, just to come up with an answer easier, it's funny because he's really not a player. He's a commentator, but it would be Virum.
I never even heard of that guy.
He's a commentator from the UK who plays trainer whenever he does play the game, and his Charizard is inspirational because he was a Zard main in Smash 4, and that's why he plays trainer is for Zard.
Oh, that makes sense.
And it's so cool to watch. Like I think it's great. Like obviously I don't try and copy him like as you two were just talking about. Like he definitely inspires me and teaches me things I can do. But I definitely I play Zard in a very different way. But he's part of what like sparked my inspiration to put more work into that Pokemon specifically out of the three, because I was like, wow, this Mon is really underrepresented in the trainer meta. Like I want to fix that. And it's been really cool to realize that after like, getting that inspiration from him, because like not to brag too much, but like I have single-handedly like changed some people's opinion on Charizard as a character around here. Like a lot of people will say, oh, he's low tier, and then people will literally tell them, oh, go play Lanturn, he'll change your mind.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've
that's
countered
cool.
them. Oh, I feel like I've done kind of like a similar thing to Luigi. Like, oh, like people thought, oh, Luigi's bad in this game and whatnot. But then I happened, and now people are like, okay, yeah, Luigi's bad. Oh no, play Deiros real quick. No. It's kind of funny because I don't know. It's just I always thought he was good, but at the same time, I didn't really think people thought that he was bad in the game. I don't really think so. I think it's high tier, but the thing is that it's just like I feel like I did something similar to what Lanturn did, and I don't know if he'll agree with me anything or not, but I think I've done like a similar thing, if like, not to his level, but I feel like I've done something quite a bit similar to that.
Yeah, in my brain right now, when you guys or you Deiros, when you say Luigi isn't bad, what's funny is that the competitive instinct in my brain says I want to show you that Luigi is bad, and like I just want to play, you know.
He's not bad at all. He's actually super good in his game.
Okay.
He's really good.
And I like that, but because we have things to prove now, and
Yeah.
when we play, if we play each other, if we ever happen to play each other, we'll see whose theory is true.
Oh yeah.
At least at our level, because I'm pretty sure we're on kind of the lower end of like maybe not lower end. I'm sure we like to build ourselves up a little more, but I would say in a region like 209, because there are much stronger regions out there.
Oh
And
yeah.
I would
like,
say we're kind of
yeah.
in the kind of a low mid level of play still.
Yeah, like our region as a whole, sad to say, is on the lower end of things. Like we definitely have like good players around who can compete. I mean, fuck, the striker got what 17th in Prime Saga.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
there's definitely good players here. It's just that the overall talent pool is sadly not as wide as other regions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned it's only the scientists who will reach the higher levels. Because the thing about Striker being number one in Modesto, and then I don't know Infamous personally, but I feel like he has a good head on his shoulders. He can probably do well, but also he means Falcon and Ganon, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I feel like you can only get so far with those characters. But at the same time, I mean, I don't want to downplay his success. I'm sure he's really good.
He's really
Yeah.
good.
I mean, if anything, I think it makes his success more impressive that he's such a dominant player with Falcon.
Yeah.
Right. And what I want to see is like this is coming from an old school player. I want to witness a player that was straight up willing to tier whore, that's straight up willing to like camp it out, play lame, all that stuff. Like to me, that's a sign of a true champion. And I've yet to witness it. And I can't even bring myself to do it because I don't have the patience. But I feel like that mystery player is out there somewhere in our region.
Yeah, that's interesting because like I said, if you met me like maybe 6 months ago, I feel like I would have been that guy because I had that mentality for a little bit. Like I used to play super campy, dude. I was just like, bro, literally whatever it takes to win. And I was like, nope, can't do it. Not having fun.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of what we were talking about earlier with self-expression. If you can't express yourself the way you want to, the game is not fun anymore, and you'll lose motivation. So that special type of player is really rare because sometimes people don't feel like they should do that, the thing that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I think the willingness to do that is also a sign of a champion. Yeah. Anyway, I really enjoy talking to you guys because like you guys are newish, and what I'm seeing though, because you guys sound like, I mean, players that I've met long ago in Melee, where there's the grind, there's the climb, there's tournaments, there's matchups. None of that has changed over the past decade and a half, and it's really fun to see that type of mentality is still alive. Because I've been separated from the scene for quite a bit, and I want to be part of it as much as I can. That's why I'm doing these podcasts, so I can still stay in touch. And I want to see you guys at events and meet you guys and put a face to a name, and also play, so I can actually feel who you truly are. And I'm challenging both of you now, as hopefully if we meet, we can play like maybe a 1st to 5 or 1st to 10. I really like 1st to 10 sets because it allows me time to learn, because I feel like my strength is that I'm able to download opponents. And when I played Striker, he pretty much trolled me with secondaries, and he still won 10-2 But I felt like I was learning because finally, when we played some games after the set, I was finally I took like 2 games off his Bowser out of like 20 plus, but I got a couple games. And
Nice.
I feel like that's my skill. My skill is downloading because I have experience. So I would love to put that to work with you two and with everyone else in the scene that's listening to this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd be super down. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be coming back to Smash soon because, like, not gonna lie, I miss the success that I was having. Like, it wasn't huge, but you know, I was like, it was nice to be consistently placing around or in top 8, and I want to get back to that.
Yeah, and I kind of want to do the same thing as well because it comes to a point where, I mean, recently I've been getting all these top 8, even top 4 voice with our last Stockton tournament actually, and I want to keep that going, but at the same time, you know, I want to find out, like I said, like a happy medium. So if you're ever down to play, hit both of us up. We'll be more than down to.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
definitely.
Yeah. One last thing I want to talk about because I know it's approaching 11. You have to go to work, right, Deiros?
Yeah, 11:45ish. Yeah.
Okay, so last thing I want to mention, going on kind of a deeper level here. I know you guys are younger than I am. I don't want to say young, but you're younger than I am. A topic has been coming up lately in life about using games as escapism for young men, and I feel like to a certain point that is true for all of us, that we use games to, I guess, relax. Some people say, I think escapism and escape might be a derogatory term depending on the connotation, but we use games to kind of wind down and relax. But it's an active hobby because we're using our brains.
Yeah.
So because it's so active, there becomes a fine line between using it as an escape or actually trying to succeed. So this is tied to the question earlier about how high are you shooting, and I guess I don't know if this is really a question, really, but it's like part of it's a hobby, part of it's a passion, part of it's a goal, and part of it is for fun. And I guess that's like weighted differently for each of us, you know.
Mhm.
And I know you guys are still in college and high school. Like, I mean, this is the Getting Good podcast. Now, I want to ask, like, what are your goals? Like, I mean, we've been talking about Smash this whole time, but like, Getting Good is all about like improving at everything.
Yeah.
And so, what are you guys like studying? What are your career goals? Like, what are your like tied into your playing Smash for fun and going to tournaments and stuff? Like, what else do you do?
Well, I mean, currently I'm a college student at MJC,
Mhm.
and what I'm trying to do is get my business administration transfer degree, so I can go to actually to go to SoCal, to go to Long Beach State, and to get my marketing master's degree.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, and also it's a kind of win-win because it's a passion that I always want to do. Like I always love the fact that I can just market any brand like to the point of people just wanting to buy, and at the same time, it's gonna be in SoCal, which is maybe considered the best Smash region in the world, and so it's kind of like a win-win for me
Oh,
if
hell
that
yeah.
comes true.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like
Um,
I'm being put in this position where I not only get the best of both worlds, I get just the overall package.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sounds fun.
For me, I'm not gonna lie, I there's a lot of shit that I don't have figured out.
I mean, that's
Um,
totally fair. I mean, you're 16,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
like-
Yeah.
completely fair.
But like at least in terms of what I'd like to do, in terms of like an actual like quote unquote professional career, I'm gonna go into culinary.
Ooh,
Ooh,
awesome.
Okay.
I love food, and like you know, growing up in a Mexican household, like food has always been an expression of love and care for somebody.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanna carry that through into other people.
That's awesome.
And then I also have a passion for football. Sadly, I don't think I'm gonna be able to play for my next 2 years of high school because of other stuff that I won't get into.
Oh, okay.
But I love the game, and it's a huge passion for me. So there's that as well. Hopefully I'll be able to get back into it someday, and then obviously I'm gonna keep working on Smash and other fighting games. I mean, I'm literally going to Genesis 7 in January with jumps. So
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Today's the last day for applying for a vendor booth. I don't know if I can get one, but I'm gonna apply anyway. See, you know, on the off chance that it's possible that I can get a booth, sell some art there. Yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah, but
then,
if I can make it, I would love to see you at Genesis.
Oh yeah, totally. I'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
totally down for that. And then I guess my last hobby something that I'm sadly not as able to do anymore as I was before is acting.
Oh wow, you got some interesting
actually,
stuff.
Yeah, there was a period where I was doing a lot of voice acting on YouTube. I want to get back to it eventually, but my home situation isn't really allowing for it at the moment.
Hey man, I am an animator, so we can team up. Well, the thing is, there's a lot of people who approach me about voice acting. I just need material because I don't really know, like, I don't write stuff with people in mind. I just write stuff. But if anyone has like a cartoon character or like some kind of monologue they want to do and just record it, I'll animate for it. Yeah. And the thing is that you're in high school, Lanturn, and you still have freedom to pursue every single thing you mentioned, even football. It's not the end of the world. I don't know what it was that doesn't allow you to play, but I mean, you have your whole life ahead of you.
All right, that was a really big cutout there. I have no idea what just happened.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Yeah, I was like, why aren't they talking? Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Yeah, I can still hear it too. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys want to make any shout outs. I don't know. I don't know who's listening to this still.
Oh no, yeah, we're both.
I mean, I'll
shout outs to my mom.
I'll shout out the boys real quick. We got Miracles, Time Link, Jumps, Gravy, Vision. All those boys have been my biggest homies in the scene.
That's sick. Those guys are all like kind of clumped together in my mind. Like,
yeah,
those are in my mind. Those are the Battleground boys. Like they got started there, and they were all like kind of weak when I first met them, and I watched them all like grow in their own ways.
Yeah, man.
And also not grow in their own ways.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are like, they're like kind of quote unquote legacy players at this point. So it was really cool for them to, like start talking to me, somebody new in the scene, and they're some of my best friends now.
Yeah. That's one thing that I think we all learn from Battlegrounds is like how to welcome people into the scene and wanting to grow the scene. And I think that's a big passion for all of us, especially in the 209. And with esports so big now, we want to build an infrastructure in some way that's sustainable. And that's really hard. Yeah. Like, Gaming Hub is a great opportunity because it's a business, and I really, really hope that Alex, the owner of Gaming Hub, is successful, and I want to help him be successful. And we all want to help him be successful.
Yeah.
Like, having tournaments there is good for all parties. It's good for us as players. It's good for the owner of the venue because, we want him to succeed as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I definitely care about growing the scene. I actually forgot to mention, I also run my own tournament series here.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. I literally run it at my house, but the quality's better than you'd think because my house is actually like the size of a venue, so it works out.
Oh, I think I saw one of those announcements before. That was you.
What's the tournament called? Like Palace of Smash?
Yeah, Palace of Smash.
Oh, that's you. You're Palace of Smash.
It's a Smash tournament series themed around Persona.
He legit just plugged his own tournament series.
Holy moly. No, that's good. That's we need more plugs.
I want people to go.
I always want people to plug. I love plugs.
Oh, yeah. And this might be a bit of like a weak plug. Like, hey, shout out to all the Luigis out there, like in the 209, because now.
How many are there though?
Let's go. There's like a decent amount actually.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
There's a Swoops from Salting who's actually picking up Luigi as a secondary. There's a Luigi. There's Wuggles. Myself. There's a few Luigis now. And I don't know how many Luigis there are like in Fresno and like close to Baker. So I don't know how many Luigis there are there, but from what I know, we have actually a good amount.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see how many people actually play so many characters. Like, it's just so diverse, man. I'm surprised myself.
Yeah, dude. I'm like pretty much the sole rep of my character around here, outside of like Ivy from Stockton, but he's bad, so.
Got him.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be honest. He kind of is.
Love you, John.
I mean, in my eyes, you're all bad. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. This is what I love about Smash. Like this is the language we all speak. We all want to beat each other. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, I kind of have to dip myself. I need to start getting ready to work. So.
Yeah, no worries. We'll stop the recording. It's great to meet you guys. I feel like you're my friends now.
Awesome, dude.
Oh yeah, awesome. That's dope.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I hope we meet soon.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be real soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, peace out, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, see ya.
Later.
All right, bye-bye.